Go. Take flight. Come at ya. What? The floor here isn't safe. This place has also been contaminated.
Yeah, and a lot of it too. A Fontaine would most likely dissolve the moment.
Right. You can't go down if there's primordial seawater. It's too dangerous and all could... don't get Paimon wrong.
No, you're right. That complicates things.
In that case...
I'll go together with you. Perhaps we'll find the exit just up.
All right. Oh no, it's a dead end. Let's try climbing over from the side.
Wait, there's something wrong with this bridge!
Demoiselle, what are you...
Maybe you should just...
Yes,
That's quite...
Oh, this...
Is something the matter?
Oh, I was just...
remember...
We were...
Oh, Miss Navia. Mr. Malus, and Mr. Silver, too. I've been great. They were knocking at my...
Sometime.
Oh, yes, Miss Navia. These are some flower seeds that I prepared. Please take them. I don't know. Did you come?
Why, we can have as many pots as you'd like, Demoiselle.
Perfect. In that case, we'll swap out some of the decorative plants.
Very well.
Wait, excuse me, that's right. No, it's not. And why are there so few people around here?
We must mind the time.
We do?
Well, now,
Miss Navia, here you are. My trial.
Yes, she's right, Demoiselle. It's just...
Oh,
Look, it's Navia!
And her two attendants are with her. Goodness, everyone's finally here.
there sure are a lot of people here to see the trial. And they all seem to be Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen. Why are so many people? And as for the judge... Where's...
please sit in the defendant's seat.
All right, but...
Typically, it would...
Hey, what kind of place do they think this is?
Come on, do they have...
Enough with the whispering!
My dear Miss Navia, as all here know, you, after you took over, not only you...
Wait,
Yes, correct, we are one big, therefore, this... Oh,
How wonderful!
I know all these people. Why are they laughing?
I seem to...
Wait just a moment. This isn't right!
Malus?
what was that, Mr. Malus? Our conclusion is very clear and unanimous. Let the court judge her now.
Stay here, Navia! You're one of us!
Demoiselle, don't admit guilt. This trial means...
I wish to exercise my right to defend Our Lady. Mr.
She was born of...
Her actions, please do not mistake.
Really, as an individual, you say? Don't forget, we are all Fontainians here. Even if Miss Navia only everything, now I speak for everyone. Our opinion is consistent. Navia should stay.
And you would call this justice? Have you forgotten how much you...
Do you need to defy our...
If your justice is flawed, then why...
As you said, we can also have our own justice. And that...
I had...
Demoiselle,
Silver, I remember now. Everything that's Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen, and Mr. Giverny and Mrs. Burnett, who we met earlier, even Malus and Silver. I don't want to admit it, but they're all dead.
don't be afraid.
Absurd! Who are you to say that? Don't let them...
Mr. Malus and Mr. Silver, must you be so stubborn? How could the two of you possibly hope to stand against the collective? Do not resist. This judgment is fair and just. Navia belongs to us. After all that happened, she should not be left alone in Poisson.
What are you saying? No more excuses.
She says we're jealous. Jealous? How could she possibly...
What's with these people? Who's jealous of her?
She belongs to us!
Miss Navia. Silence.
That's...
Monsieur Neuvillette!
Such commotion is... The court will...
Our thanks, Monsieur.
Malus.
My apologies. I couldn't resist making one little joke once I realized that...
Malus, Silver.
Quickly, you must come now.
Goodbye.
Farewell.
No, wait! Just a second!
Navia?
You're awake. Good.
I must have been dreaming. Malus and Silver were still...
Looks like you...
Did all this happen?
The ruins you were exploring suffered a cave-in. You were just about... I think I saw two Oceanids protecting you. It was only for a moment, were it not for their intervention.
Wait, did you say Ocean?
Perhaps those two...
I always...
Please come with...
Neverland, are you okay?
Oh, I am...
Why do you look so... Oh, Paimon.
I'm nearly... See...
No way.
I see.
Oh,
Thank you.
he still doesn't... So, Neverland. This isn't going...
Yes, in fact. Meet my...
Yeah, we...
I'm sorry to have kept you all waiting like that. I'm feeling much better now. I guess we should get going again. Will you come with us, Monsieur Neuvillette?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind my company.
Oh, right! Another address the party! Let's get going then!
Hey there! Where is Noah?
like we've reached the end.
This is the place. There should not be any other hidden spaces in the...
The path sure had some twists and turns, but it turns out that this place isn't actually that big.
Stone slates. It seems like they were put here as an offering.
Perhaps we should just leave them be for now.
There are 4 locations in total, but only 3 stone slates. The slate that should be in the first empty spot is missing.
The surrounding walls also show signs of damage.
There's something written below. Let Paimon see. Reason dictates that this nation be destroyed. I shall record the history of its future here in its past. Say what?
It feels like someone left these slates and these words here for...
That would fit the circumstances.
There's a person kneeling here. She seems so dedicated.
And is that Lady Farina in the third image?
And is that a ring of people around her?
The fourth image. I know this one.
The people will all be dissolved into the waters. More information should be hidden in these slates, but I fear I cannot easily uncover it, most likely due to us missing the first slate. I am very sorry.
Don't blame yourself.
Ooh, Paimon's getting the chills just... This says that it's the...
I really...
Still...
That's right. If the images are in chronological order, shouldn't the fourth, the waters drowning Fontaine, come before...
And yet the order is reversed here.
If we go by timing, Lady Farina only emerges in the third image. That means...
Egeria, then. I had never met her. The previous Archon kneeling before the floating island...
Did she herself commit that sin? And also, I'm... Like,
It seems that any further clues will have to...
in that case, there's no...
Yeah, we better get somewhere safe for now.
Let's split up here.
You still...
I'll depart as well. Thanks for your hard work today. Rest well, everyone. Traveler, I will go talk to Farina tomorrow morning to ask about the stone slates. I'm sure that you're concerned about this matter as well. If you have time, drop by my office. I will share the results of our discussion with you.
Are you really gonna talk to her about this directly? Will that...
She has long...
All right.
I will be carefully...
Traveler, Paimon, our safe house at the Cliff Sandra is always... All right. You're here, finally!
Is something wrong?
Monsieur Durvalette and Lady Farina, they seem to have gotten into a dispute. Please go see for yourself. Like I said, I've already explained everything.
And yet the problem has not been properly solved. There is little space for excuses between us. It is not my intention to offend you, but please, tell me where you stand. You are the Hydro Archon Fosolor, are you not? Look at this. This is a list of the victims from the recent Poisson incident.
You mean...
We did not arrive in time to avert this disaster, and I will not have it happen again. I will say this once more. You must tell me everything you know. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient ruins near Poisson. Do you know anything about those?
Seriously? You're questioning me like this is a court case now. I don't know anything about that. But you found them in some ancient ruins?
That's correct, which is why I came to ask you some questions. There should have been 4 slates, but one of them was missing. The other 3 feature different images that seem to correlate to the prophecy.
The prophecy?
The second of these slates depicts the previous Hydro Archon Egeria kneeling before a floating island in the sky, as if confessing something. Do you know nothing of this either?
I don't. I've never seen such slates.
I'll ask you again. Do you really have no information? My deciphering of the slates indicates that the Hydro Archon Egeria once had to confess to...
All gods don't have the same secrets, you know. She was herself and I'm me. Is it really so strange that I know nothing? I understand your concerns, but I'm sorry. I just don't have anything to tell you.
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Farina, but I've long known your various... There are several indications. This is not straight. You have never been...
Well, since you know about my secret investigation, there's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Unix. Just trust in me. You're Archon and do as I said. That's all I have to say. We do not discuss this matter again. Oh, the opera's about to start. Toodles!
Did Farina not notice us standing by the door?
I assume you've been outside for a while now?
Oh, you noticed. Seems Farina didn't even realize we were here.
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Our discussion reached impasses time and again, a state of affairs that we cannot allow to continue. Still, I do not understand. Dialogue is the basis for understanding, so why did she keep refusing to engage? Everyone in her... Perhaps we must have the Hydro Archon experience.
Like, Farina's seen so many trials, and she's really good at dodging questions. How do we make sure that she won't just slip away at the first chance she gets?
We will need to consider this thoroughly, join forces with various parties, and then do what we can. If at all possible, I would prefer to recuse myself from this affair, but we must prevent the prophecy from coming to pass. This may be cruel to her, but all Fontaine is in crisis. But who...
Well, that's everyone, huh? Speaking of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Poisson was just involved in a disaster, so it's presently devoid of people. That naturally makes it the best choice.
And here you are drinking tea like it's the most natural thing in the world, huh?
That's what families should do. Sit and enjoy a leisurely time together.
It's nice to enjoy tea here, you know? Care for a cup?
Lend me your ears, everyone. Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about you, friend?
Me? No.
Then how about you?
I fear that I will cause the mood on this boat to become
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize.
That was a little long-winded.
Oh, you might be right. Anyway, to cut to the chase, our friend here, the Traveler, has brought us together to discuss something. As for what that is, well, let's start by saying that we'll be pooling our efforts together to create a series of traps.
Oh, how intriguing.
Well, it's just an expression, really. One that I just learned from Chlorand, and used on the spot. So, let's invite her to explain in detail. A round of applause, please.
Huh? Didn't you say that you would be facilitating this?
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good chance to practice. You might even pick up some fancy oratory tricks to impress your boss with in the future.
I see. And what does my boss...
He is glad that you consider him your boss. Do go on.
In that case, do any of you have experience hunting?
Not that I recall. Fremine and I once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were younger. As for Lynette, oh, right. You were sick that day, weren't you?
I've also gone diving to catch some fish before. Does that count?
I'm afraid not. You may or may not have heard, though that was their name. Today, a trap comprises of the following components: bait, a trigger, and a containment device. Sometimes a lethal implement will also be necessary to deal with the prey. So, if we were to build a trap together, right now, what would you choose to build it with?
For me, I would prefer something basket-shaped. Pigeons and rabbits will see the bait and naturally enter the snare. Our line of work requires a deft hand, and we're some of the best in the industry, so you can count on our techniques.
You used some of those techniques while moving the people of Poisson, didn't you? My subordinates mentioned that you even performed some magic for the ball and children.
Yes, and I even managed to gather some intelligence in the meantime. I'm quite the multitasker if I do say.
I'm afraid I can't claim that as my strong suit. I prefer more stable methods, like placing...
Calm and steady. Exactly the...
And I can be their assistant. With discretion, I'm sure.
I'd probably use some sort of mechanical animal. Papa once bought me some small clockwork squirrels, mice, and such. I remember that you liked those.
I did. And that would be a good...
What about you, Monsieur Neuvillette?
I fear I do not have any related experience.
That makes sense. You usually solve problems directly, without the use of any such trick. But I do have one more question for you, monsieur. If we were to create a trap now, how would you design it?
I would like for it to be effective, but bring no harm to prey. A more gentle trap would be ideal.
Kind, as always. However, our intention doesn't necessarily change the containment device and the type of implement we need. If we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also goes for prey that must be captured and safely contained.
Wait, why is that?
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can snare it without harming it. The line that divides life and death is often exceedingly thin.
So...
Huh. We hadn't...
If our means of capturing and dealing with our prey is to put them on trial, then the hunting metaphor is actually quite accurate. But we shall require much more courage than any hunter to...
Oh.
The underwater. My recent attempts thus didn't out. So while the fortress is journalist Charlotte's. Charlotte took so many awesome. She hasn't been able to get a hold of anything. Seriously? We're here! Paimon's hungry. Hey, quick, look! That's the limited edition, only 16. It was so delicious the last time we tried it. This one.
One slice of cake, please.
Someone showed up after all. Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Oh, are you here to buy cake too? It seems Monsieur Neuvillette was right. You really can?
Wait,
That's right.
do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily schedule, apart from work.
Then what if someone told you one day that this place would be closing soon, and you wouldn't get to eat?
But why would it close?
Well, Paimon doesn't know either, but maybe the waters will rise tomorrow.
Oh, the prophecy. To be honest, I have... No, it's the same for each...
Huh.
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have... These 2 slices are for you. See?
Oh, you know, see...
I sure do. She said, but I got something else to do, so...
And there she goes. All right, let's dig in. Paimon's sure this cake will be... It's more delicious. Sure would be nice if we could always eat.
Wow, if it isn't the traveler and Paimon!
Ha! You got some nerve. I just used that to make some quick mora.
Oh, you needn't. It's all right, though.
Really? Oh, you're the best.
You're almost a little too easy to win over, Paimon.
Well, Paimon...
Still, what...
When Mona mentioned...
I see. So she mentioned me? What did she say?
She said that you're a real...
Nice. In which case?
Huh?
Oh, of course it doesn't. That was more like live photography. What I'd like to do is dive deeper and ask you to talk about the thing.
Yeah, are we even...
Why not?
Oh.
Oh, so that's a yes? Oh, splendid. I'll tell the editor-in-chief immediately. I'll have to apply for lighting, venues, props, and... Oh, so much to get done now. Talk to you later.
Wait, Charlotte, Paimon's still got a question for you.
And what's that? If you're serious, from what I've seen, so in all likelihood, I'd probably still be prepping at the office for that interview of ours. I know what you're thinking. That sounds a bit sad, but I've always believed that it's best to do what you enjoy. Just think about it. If this nation really were to be suddenly destroyed tomorrow, but I still successfully... And then do you know what I'd do? Well, I'd write that story. I'm not a dreamer, nor am I a workaholic, but anyway, that's my answer.
That's so not... Anyway, let's go and take a look at the sea, shall we? Paimon's been thinking. If it wasn't Fontaine, but all of Tevat that would be destroyed tomorrow. No, Paimon should ask, if you could choose, what would you like to do? We've always been moving to the next destination. You mean, still traveling? Huh. This place looks deserted. Guess all the survivors must have evacuated already. All that's left here are signs of devastation. Could Farina really be here? Let's try to find her as soon as possible. Look, that's Farina right over there. She real...
What was meant to happen did happen. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so... What can I even do?
Who's that? Don't worry, Farina. It's just us. Farina, you were crying...
What do you mean, tear stains? They even dare to tout their archon. Oh, and I'm sure Neuvillette and those people from the Marsh Say Phantom are free.
Hey, there she is! The Hydro Archon's over there! Quick, after her!
Farina, those people seem to be after you.
They're just some... That's against the rules. I can't let them get their way.
Farina just ran off. Quick, we have to catch up with her. This should be the place, right? Hey, Farina! There's a good hiding spot over here. Quick, come to Paimon.
What?
Hurry, they're almost here.
Fine. I suppose haste is warranted. Lead the way. No, I mean, I merely gave in to the sheer enthusiasm they display. You're right.
Yep, that's...
What's happening?
Yeah, a quake of this kind preceded the flooding in Poisson, didn't it?
It can't be. It's happening.
Well, there's no need to...
Yeah, but the people... It's true.
I've been investigating the prophecy for hundreds of years. I once had informants I've tried all, but all my efforts proved to be futile. We cannot make an enemy of the divine. No matter what we do, the will of the heavenly... Give up. Indeed. Fate. But just now, it all became... As long as the... Don't worry. Well, that's enough for now. Don't take any of... Come on! Cher, that's impossible. A witness. And if...
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my opening performance. Now, without further ado, we may proceed to the trial of our god.
So this is what it is. Yes, you deserve praise for the effort you took to raise the... Do not forget, however, that I...
May I interpret these words as your refusal? In that case, you will have the opportunity to defend your honor.
You would draw your blade against a god? I see. It seems like you have made up your mind. I can't believe it. She just surrendered.
What the heck is going on? Did I just see an Archon's...
Well...
Lady Farina.
It would seem that there has been... Looking for excuses? I raised my hands just now to indicate my... I will admit. I'm sorry, everyone. I was unable to protect... You are not the only ones to be disappointed in me. But now, I, Farina, will use this trial to show the world that... This time... Applaud and rejoice. One of the most outrageous and fantastical arcs known to the opera epic plays is now unfolding before your eyes. Mark my words, this shall be one of the most exhilarating and brilliant shows ever to grace the stage of Fontaine. The trial of the Hydro Archon, Spacil, will now begin! Oh, now... Why does it feel like Farina just took over the whole thing? Also, even though she's still acting super dramatic... All right, then. Who will be my opponent in this trial?
The court asks the prosecutor to please take the stand.
Is that so? Very well. Then please speak, witness up to that. Also, please allow me to ask, as a final question before, just how much... Well, we did do a lot of prep after the meeting that day.
I can go over the tasks assigned to the Spinati Rosula, since they were rather straight.
Navia,
But most of the people who participated in the disturbance this morning were my subordinates. They changed into playing the people's resentment, moreover, according to...
So you...
And their goal.
That's right.
As the super ultimate version of the setup, the volume of the box was increased by a whole order of magnitude, and the distance it traversed was the entire gap between Poisson was an arc. My thanks, Farina. Of course, this we had to select a location.
So, in other words... That's right. It wasn't a sign of another disaster to come. Then, I can gather Nervillette and Cloran's part. You gathered a crowd, prepared a stage, and also that...
Yes, that is...
Well, Cloran,
Thank you.
As for you, traveler, I suppose your role was to keep me distracted with conversation once you found me in Poisson. You'd make sure that I didn't notice anything amiss before revealing yourself as my prosecutor once we arrived onto the stage. Oh? It's fine. The stage is already set, so there's no reason to disappoint the audience. Let's see this trial through to the...
Sir Prosecutor, please allow me to pass this along. This is a document that Miss Charlotte applied for and received permission to share with...
Huh? Charlotte wanted to give us something? Oh, so she's here too! Oh, let Paimon see! Oh, wait, then that means this document is a So in other words, we can refer to this anthology of evidence every time we want to use something from our journey as evidence for an argument! Let's quickly confirm the information in it. Just think of it as a refresher, alright?
Of the Tui Harbinger. She's in it. This is the fortress of... According to... I nearly lost my off the words of someone as...
The prosecution and the defense are both in position. The trial shall now begin.
Oh, come on. Just fast forward to the part where, of course, it is only natural.
That's true, but my charge here is unrelated to your conduct as an Archon. Instead, I would like... Wait, what was that? Lady Farina's a fraud?
Hey,
Charge accepted. Lady Farina. Lady Farina.
I plead not guilty. How can I be guilty? There is no way that I, Fosalor, otherwise known as Farina de Fontaine, a member of the Seven and the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws of Fontaine, could be anything other than your true Archon.
Yeah, even though Lady Farina can be
yeah,
I have cause to believe that common sense will prevail in this case. Many of the members of the audience have known me as the Hydro Archon. See? If you wish to drop the case, I can promise you as the god of justice.
An argument with near impossible odds.
Well, and if I... First of all, you may be a member of another long-lived... Who gave you that idea? Was it the knave? You'd sink so low as to use a harbinger's words against me.
A curse. I once thought it possible, but in light of this claim, perhaps what I sensed was not your divinity.
Nervillette sensed it too, huh?
Lady Farina is actually a human?
Well, it is true that it's extreme.
Well, don't start celebrating too. Besides, for centuries, one need only to turn their eyes towards the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse. like to reference the or.
Didn't I make myself clear at the time?
Lady Farina, I believe a reminder of your while the court is in session. You will prove yourself.
I never thought you'd use.
That was no trick of rhetoric, lady.
So, you neither knew why Child was declared guilty. Instead of having been created by you, the manifestations of authority you mentioned.
The real Hydro Archon. Well, it is true that I did not know, but the Oratries handed out that verdict unilaterally, and it has been operating independently ever since. You can't.
She's still throwing out all kinds of excuses. Seems like she's confident that we won't be able to produce proof that she hasn't.
My power at.
If that poses a concern.
You don't need to go that far.
Aren't you the Hydro Archon? Or
Indemnitium. Yes, it's all because of Indemnitium. All Archons. Thus did I.
Isn't that a huge stretch?
Yeah, no matter how generous an arc.
it seems like nobody's buying Farina's.
Hey, come now, everyone. Please don't stare at me as if I'm still displeased.
If what the prosecutor.
Did she deceive? Enough. That's enough. Tell me then, if you have.
Wow. It has been established that all.
Since you insist on claiming to be a god and not a human, then there's a method that you can use.
Miss Navia.
Now, I've brought some seawater from Poisson. So, if we are to but if you don't dare to touch it, then we would have basically proved the reverse. Oh, and I must remind, I do hope you'll act prudently.
Navia from the... If Lady Farina's indeed...
Lady Farina, this test has been unilaterally...
Well, of course you had to tell. She's just...
What's going on?
Due to the inherent...
Hey!
I'm fine. Look at me, everyone. Will you believe?
Miss Seedwing, if you are present, Miss Seedwing,
Siege, don't be nervous.
please announce the...
As everyone doubtlessly saw, Miss Farina was experiencing the adverse effects of exposure to primordial seawater.
Thank you, Miss Seedwing. Lady Farina, you may return.
Oh, wait, what did she just say?
Well, considering your tenant, however, after extensive discussion, we exchanged. We don't want anyone else.
Yeah, so out of regard, it's a great thing that the direct sample wasn't actually used.
I can't believe. Listen to me, everyone. Please don't give me such cold and disdainful looks. Think about it. How can you conclusively? Also, if I was. Please, anyone, just listen to me. I swear, I really am your Archon.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. The odds are just...
With all the things that have been said, Paimon doesn't think...
I believe the time for arguments and presentation of evidence has come to an end. If there are no objections, we will move on to the final judgment.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone to stand against her now.
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on Farina's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of Fontaine. As a human who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens, Farina is... guilty. We shall now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Farina is...
Well, what's wrong? What's the Oratrice's verdict?
No, the Oratrice also displays a guilty verdict.
Isn't that correct then?
However, the exact wording of the verdict is thus. The Hydro Archon, guilty, to be punished via the death sentence.
The death sentence?
That's actually one of the available sentences?
The one and only time.
Farina's been sentenced.
This outcome is indeed quite... Is this sentence really a...
Yeah, even Machine wasn't sentenced to death by the Oratrice. You know,
Indeed. Not only is Farina's... But now...
Excuse me, if I may interrupt. Is the trial still going?
Fremine, you finally made it. I assume this means you completed your mission.
Is that the... Huh. So...
I looked everywhere, but has the trial already concluded? Then...
Thank you for your hard work, Mr. Femine. Please allow me to review the record left on the slate. Traveler, believe that you have already seen the other existing slates. We'd like you to come here and confirm their contents.
Huh? So what do you see? What is it?
I believe I've now made sense of...
Huh? So when you...
In truth, However, I'm uncertain that...
Okay, let's... The first stone slate describes what you just said. It seems to show the previous Hydro Archon using her divine power, and then the Oceanids turn into humans. Does that mean that Fontainians are transformed Oceanids? Oh, Paimon wasn't expecting that. But if Oceanids can turn into humans, then perhaps this process can be reversed as well. The second stone slate shows Celestia floating in the sky, and the Hydro Archon and her people worshipping it together. But the heavens still brought judgment down upon them. This must be the point when the Hydro Archon and the Fontainians were branded with their original sin. Does this mean that the original sin and the Hydro Archon sin are the same thing? The third slate shows the Hydro Archon sinking into the sea surrounded by many people. Never mind Paimon, didn't we also watch that happen to someone else? Well, the fourth slate is the prophecy the Fontainians have been talking about. People dissolving into the sea, the Hydro Archon crying on her throne, and so on. We didn't believe that such a crazy disaster could happen at first, did we? But after that incident, it was just a question of when and not if.
The prophecy from the stone slates found its way into society, but not many people believed it at first. The fortress of Merope was nearly flooded with primordial seawater, which we know can cause Fontainians to dissolve. It seems increasingly likely that the prophecy may come true if we... Perhaps what is about to take place has all happened before. The true sin of the Hydro Archon that Nervalet mentioned, and the original sin cast down on the people of Fontaine by Celestia, as recorded on the stone slates. We know from the case of the serial disappearances of young women that Fontainians can be dissolved in primordial seawater, and this might be the reason that Fontainians can dissolve. It's not as simple as falling into the sea. When Navia fell into the sea, her consciousness was subjected to judgment. The stone slates show the people gathered around the Hydro Archon in the sea. Could that be alluding to the same thing?
They'll dissolve into the primordial sea but won't cease to exist. Their essence will flow in the seawater, converge, and take the form of an Oceanid. The Hydro Archon was sentenced to death in court, shocking everyone present. Perhaps this means that her sin was actually Fontaine's original sin. Navia fell into the water inside those ruins, and she nearly dissolved. She was surrounded by the people of Spacil in a court within her consciousness, and was forced to take part in a trial meant to make her stay. The eruption of the primordial sea at the fortress of Merope was the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass no matter what. The stone slate's content can all be verified by recent events. If we combine what we know together, loads of truths should come to light. Huh? Oh, Paimon gets it now! So that's how you can make sense of it. But then it feels like...
Let's hear them.
Incredible.
all Fontainians were... The evidence... Oh, and according...
Indeed.
Yeah, and it follows from the content of the first slate that she probably anchored Celeste that could have...
The Hydro Archon's...
And yet, after many hundreds of years, the Hydro Archon's creations have turned around to try to judge the Archon within the Opera Epiclese.
Yeah, isn't the... So wouldn't it be trying to show the image of the Hydro Archon also falling into the sea once the prophecy has been fulfilled in the forest? In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain weeping on her throne. Did Paimon get all that right?
You've made some keen deductions. However, while you were able to decode all the information when we were at the ruin, now that the slate collection is complete, I shall make it...
Well, did you get it?
I believe I should share this truth not only with you, but with all the people of Fontaine as well. Your hypotheses regarding the Fontaine of old, the previous Hydro Archon sensed the yearning of her Oceanid familiars for life on land. The Oceanids were enamored with the beauty and romanticism of human beings, and wishing to have those experiences for themselves, expressed to the Hydro Archon their desire to be... However, not one to give in, she eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her familiars by appropriating the power of this planet's primordial sea. She poured... But if on... Of course, the Hydro Archon never received permission from the heavenly principles to create a new human race, and thus, the Hydro Archon and all of her creations came to shoulder the original sin of appropriating the power of the primordial sea. That is the true history of how the people of Fontaine first came into being.
So we were all...
That's way too much information for me. Wait, but if that's the truth, we can't let the Hydro Archon be...
This really might be too much information for your race.
Alas, your hypothesis regarding the third and fourth stone slates was inaccurate. The slates' respective position, a key point of the visual, they have not been dissolved. The nation of Fontaine is the nation of Hydro. You may also recall Navia's experience when she fell into the sea. Therefore, that the people of Fontaine shall try the Hydro Archon at the court of justice. Yes.
I think I'm following. In truth.
What should we do?
Huh. No matter what,
If that's the case...
Traveler, I would like to point out another small fact about the fourth slate. However, as for the root cause of the catastrophe, I believe you've already encountered it once before. This eruption was just a small warning of the things to come. We must find the root cause of the disaster.
It was both dream.
If we're talking about a true culprit, that could only be that thing inside the primordial sea, right?
The truth, the original sin, the trial, and the root cause of the disaster.
That was way too close! How did that thing just burst into the upper house? Wait, was that the huge whale you saw in your dream?
So we've met it at last. I understand that whale does not. It has been and once it is.
You said that when the Hydro Archon first created
Precisely. Therefore, when it left the primordial sea,
we just barely.
that is correct. From the way he looked, he must have been fighting.
That battle maniac. Anyway, now
It is too late. It had already absorbed too much, even if the.
We've already done everything we can, and we've come.
Indeed.
I'll fight it to the end. No.
so the prophecy will be fulfilled no matter what, huh?
The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled. You may view such things as the history of the future. Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the god's gaze does not fall? Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Tevat's future. All you need to do is to play your part.
Oh, what's happening with the oratories?
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
Farina! No, I still need answers.
You.
Sorry, that shocked expression on your...
You are not Farina. Who are you?
The sweet sound of bewilderment. Marvelous.
Focilor. Why did you deceive us?
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Goodness, no. But I had to fool everyone else, too. If I... The heaven...
Deceiving the...
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve. One was not amused. In fact, she knew full well. And as one of the seven, she also knew full well that one defies the heavenly... So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather... I spent a terribly long time mulling it over. Alone on the ocean. I had to I'm a genius, I know. Although, looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance... But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this. Anymore.
So you were also once one?
Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human. And I still do, even now. In my eye, after becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as nigh the me. She could feel joy, sorrow, and everything in between. She could be as her strengths, but in my eyes, Farina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly human in every way. The person I always wanted to be. Anyway, all part of the plan, of course. The plan to deceive the heavenly principles. Do you still remember the final scene of the prophecy? In order that the under the curse I placed on her, so long as I, Focilor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But instead, I suppose now you probably understand.
But Farina is only, even though she is high.
It has indeed. It's been fought, and all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and agonizingly painful opera of all time. Oh, who permitted you to come onto the stage? Now, I understand your admiration for my august self, but I must ask you to keep to the rules. All right. It is not my intent to reprimand you. There is no need to state your name. Just be off with you. Do not distract me from my performance. I am Focilor. The eyes of countless Fontainians are upon me. I must, at all times, display the utmost elegance and nobility. Dear audience, the performance is experiencing a technical difficulty, but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon enough. Come at ya! Hey, what gives? The audience is still watching me, you know. Guards! Wait, where are the guards? Guards! Farina, Miri.
Huh? Who's that? Who's calling me? Where are you?
Be not nervous. Be not afraid. I am before you.
Wait a moment. You're near me? How can...
Mirror you, huh? You know what? That's not bad. Let's go with that.
Near me?
The prophecy.
What prophecy? Oh, wait. I know. I think... I don't know why, but it's in my head somehow. The people will all be dissolved.
Oh.
What? But...
I will tell you how to save everyone, but you may have to suffer somewhat.
Oh, so there's still hope as... But if there were scale...
I suppose this would also be the justice, though. Huh? Don't worry, it's nothing.
Play as a god.
That's right. If you can keep it. Don't worry. Being a human yourself, I'm sure you remember.
I'm so...
To a combat.
A trial, huh? How exciting. I'll be looking forward to it. The Maison Carnally, what should I say to most appear like a god? Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to the Opera Epic Plays. I'm sure you've all heard about how I have taken on the role of Hydro Archon. Indeed, I am Verena de Fontaine, your new Archon. In truth, I know little about becoming a nation's new god. As the god Bozalor, the god of justice, I shall do all within my power to lead you into an age of fairness and justice. Once again, thank you all for coming. If you should have any questions or suggestions, please send them to the Maison Carnally. The future of Fontaine will require us to work together, after all. This should do it. I thought I might stammer, but thankfully, I was able to convey my thoughts just fine. Okay, and next.
That's the new Hydro Archon. This is some kind of joke by the Maison. I would have thought that a being that surpasses humanity would be a bit more...
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions there at the end.
Shouldn't gods be all-powerful? She's being so modest.
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen. She might just be a Maison that...
Wait, what's going on? Why is everyone suspecting me of being a fake? Right, Miri said that I just need to play the role of a god as humans imagine it to be. Calm down, Frida. Think. What do the people want? How would they imagine a god to speak and act as if, with a strong sense of presence? Oh, very good, my people. Only ones such as you are deserving of my rule. Now, I was wondering, if some weak puppet were to one day come onto the stage and claim ownership of this opera house, would the children of Fontaine follow them? Well, it seems that you would all see right through them. Having passed my test, you are qualified to witness wondrous trials alongside my august self, here in this opera house. You may consider my previous act a door gift of sorts. I thought it was. Now then, let's...
Ah, so that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten to be
Personality. It's quite shocking. I suppose it's better looking for such a fascinating old deity. How wonderful. Our future may yet be bright after all.
It seems I've turned them around. Best of all this, my dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay, I say to you, we have heard it said that this nation's sins can no longer be washed away. Well, I say that no, this won't work. They'll suspect me again. I must play the role that they want me. The scales of justice, may law be the prayer on our lips. May judgment be our worship. There is, so long as
Lady Verena,
besides,
if
Macken,
that's true,
no need for fright, and do not take what I said before too seriously. No.
Lady Verena.
No need. All right.
Oh, he's...
Lady Verena, here are the latest hydrological reports.
I see. It's as I thought then. As all manner. Really? The day is finally over. I haven't had a moment to breathe this whole time, but it's good. Maybe this is...
Lady Verena, you're...
They'll...
Lady Verena.
Indeed, my...
Lady Verena, we're detecting significant hydrological anomalies.
Understood. I just don't know when these days will end. I feel utter...
Lady Verena, I heard that word. Are you crying?
Really now? This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being... So, hundreds of people I never imagined have I want to die. All I can do is keep heart.
Verena, you don't have to shoulder this burden alone. Although I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone, your people are more than willing to share your burden with you.
Share my burden? That's impossible. It was stated right from the start that this would be my duty alone.
But even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, you can still choose to confide in someone. Just share it with me. I'm what you call a witness.
A witness? Huh. Yes, I've heard that you came to Tavat from beyond the stars, yes. In other words, you never belonged here. And if Tavat is in its entirety a show on a stage, then you're just a spectator, aren't you? If that's the case, he's right. I could confide in him, couldn't I? But if things don't play out as expected, the people of Fontaine will be the ones to pay the price. No, Verena, you shouldn't be selfish. But what if, Verena, you've worked so hard for so long? Surely it would be okay to put yourself first. Is it such an outrage if you let this think about it long and hard? No, I have nothing to say. I am Verena, the Archon of Fontaine. Everything will surely get better. All you need to do, dear spectator, is...
Fine. So even Verena doesn't know the truth.
You've never...
Yes, she did very well. If she had let her resolve falter even once, it seems that trusting humanity was...
I believe that How would you build...
Good, good. Of course, the Udex of Fontaine has pinpointed the crux of the issue. I'm sure you...
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Lenny did mention that he heard it. It now seems that...
And then I became one with the Ortries, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes. Alas, in truth, it...
I beg your pardon?
Oh, you have it. And to be more... my work over... But really, the vast majority had to be.
It was all...
Indeed. This power, accrued over 5 centuries, could have sustained Fontainians for millennia had it only been used for that purpose. Almost all of it has now been stored within the Ortries. But only power of this magnitude could hope to destroy the Hydro Archon's divine throne, shaking the rules established by Celestia, and breaking through the institution that is the Seven.
So the Oratrix's call for death was for neither Farina nor Focalor, but for the Hydro Archon. The destruction of that divine throne. If I do not misunderstand your intent, he must be...
Returning what's rightfully yours to you, of course. In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to the Hydro Dragon of this... Oh, Hydro Dragon soft.
All you've done...
I've never quite... Hydro Dragon, don't cry. I must say, had it been within my right, Egeria stole the power of the Primordial Sea. And speaking of justice, I've always believed that just so, if the theft of the Primordial Sea, then leaving matters of procedural right, in other words, defying the prophecy. At this point, Udex Nullet, the highest...
So when I was invited to the Court of at last, in the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living alongside them, gradually, here are things being as they are. Surely you know that I could never declare them.
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Nervalette. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
Udex Nervalette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
Was that right?
It's time to... I have gained the strength. We should seize the opportunity to pursue our quarry. Traveler, now that the oratories can no longer function, I require an executor to help me mete out justice. The root of the collapse. Come with me, Traveler. The hour of execution. I've already done my best to separate the power of the planetary from the way. Considering the size of this, I cannot reach the power source. Unless I find a way to attack it from within. I shall share a part of the ancient dragon's power with you. We shall look for an opening together. flowering Narwhal cannot resist its instinct to develop. Continue to trigger its hostility. Chance will present itself.
What's that rolling thingy over there? It looks really scary. Fire!
I can't get back.
I have granted you my protection. Do not fear. Seize the moment and use my power to suppress this truth from within.
Where is now? Opening box of the breakers.
Watch out! Watch out!
Thanks for helping with the cleanup. It should have been my job, but it was just well, actually, I had a feeling that it would happen at some point.
That power.
I simply did not have anything to so you may speak to me as I have to agree. That kind of power. All in all. The point.
Well, someone sort of...
Oh, right. His name is Sir Delogi.
Huh?
I am unfamiliar with...
Huh. So Master is insufficiently famous.
The foul...
Still nothing.
Oh, that one!
Oh, but I suppose it... Wait! Actually, never... That they all devout such roiling high as such. In other words...
What?
Not to worry.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Farina will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Hey! Help! Over here!
All hands, initiate emergency rescue! Hurry!
Hey! Lend a hand!
Look! The water's receding!
It's a miracle!
Water's receding.
We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong! The prophecy was wrong!
Are you alright?
We're saved. The prophecy was wrong.
you instead of a people always. Wow, Paimon barely recognizes the people in the reports. Are those really Curie or Navia? They sound.
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? This team's idea was pretty simple. With the disaster just having passed. Created a true flying ship. Well, not. And that's oh, this time. Navia!
Oh, it's you.
Hey, I'm here to update my.
Let me introduce you. This is Mr. Garun Snezhevich, our resident.
Hello, Miss Charlotte. I'm a big fan, but if you don't mind,
I get where you're coming from.
that would be fine.
Oh, you're back too. How are
We finished laying down the construction materials.
Huh? You're here too, Clarion?
Well, her reputation's greatly risen after that whole duel business with Miss Farina, so she's here in Poisson to wait out the heat.
There's too much to consider in the reconstruction of Poisson.
Oh, wait just a moment. Do you mind me asking a few questions?
Forget it.
I see you're the same.
Well, if we're talking about doing things for my sake.
Of course I will. I'm not gonna let him off that easy. All right, then everyone who wants to be in the photo, gather up.
How did it go? Was it a good?
Not bad. Your addition really helped the composition of the picture. All right, hang on a moment. Let me snap a few more shots. All right, that should do it. I'll be back here later anyway, so let's call it a day.
You're very quick.
Speed is of the also not to
Wow, you really...
I'll hazard a guess that this is how you got that interview at the Fortress of Meripede.
Whoa, you're well informed.
That's a...
In truth, I told him that
You're right.
Stay safe now, and tell me
Looks like you've been missing it.
Duke!
Of course.
It's an honor to
No need to thank.
Of course.
All right then, this way. It would seem that Miss Lorvine doesn't want her...
Sir, please.
but
No, I...
Now, I might not look it, but I am the boat that brought... Still, if I might have...
I have to apologize, but that ship is present.
Really?
You already know my answer, I'm afraid. Best to interview our head nurse instead. Or perhaps...
Did you really have to use the word well then, too? So...
Is my hair messed up?
Things sure are getting pretty lively here. Oh, seems like everyone's here. Would any of you like...
Ah, so
Hey, Miss Shark.
Sure. Do I have to smile? So, how have things been at the...
same old, same old.
Other than that flying ship.
That's why I decided...
You're too kind.
I see. Well,
He sure did...
I'll tell them that...
Oh.
What change can there be as to what Miss Farina's departure will mean for the nation, and if our laws and governance will be transformed? We'll...
Hey, everyone. The photo shoot's done.
Good. In that case, let's call it a day.
Thanks for your cooperation. Come on, traveler, let's go.
There'll be an...
Maybe? All right, last stop, the docks.
I didn't see them! They really are...
Navia mentioned that she stayed...
Traveler, Paimon. Oh, and Miss Charlotte, too.
Would you like a magic pocket? What sort of gadget is it? It's a wondrous trick a friend. You could just make a friend like Fremine here. Isn't that right, Fremine? To be honest, that sounds pretty sweet. Could I...
Lynette Cherry's working hard to help Fremine so...
He was the one who proposed doing this. He even wants to...
Yes, I was planning to first introduce...
That said, would anyone want to see a diver escape underwater?
Oh, it'll work out. Lynette, could you...
Got it.
My, that Charlotte is rather perceptive. She got rid... Father says...
That's up.
Oh, I get... After, lady.
Diplomatic.
Yes, it could have been done. Furthermore,
That's...
I would agree. I suspect he'll... They say that he's returned to Snezh.
That's true. When you think about it, we had loads of...
so shocked by such a simple switching of sides.
Father.
Well, what do you know?
Are you going to take the notes?
That is our Don't be too switching my masks. Isn't it? Well, that depends on many things. As for you, I very much look forward to our next collaboration. Good things cannot be achieved alone, and you've proved yourselves to be great partners. A vision.
And that's a wrap for me. Huh?
Greetings, Miss Journalist. That is correct. So forgive me, but I will not be able to serve as a subject in your article. However, feel free to write as much as you like. The sea breeze is quite pleasant.
Farewell, Father.
Oh, she has such an intimidating presence. I didn't even dare to take a picture. Thankfully, I've already wrapped up all my pre-skip.
Don't be too nervous. Why don't you take a magic pocket before you go? Here, Traveler, Paimon, you take one too.
To move things about?
That's right. I guess this must be life. All right then.
Well, guess we said Charlotte, huh? Shall we go see the Neverland Theory? As long as he's not so busy that he doesn't have time to chat anyway. The entrance to the fortress! Ooh, he really is there! So, you really are here in Neverland? I didn't think you were going to...
Really? Oh, I see. In any case, you came to the...
Alright, then. So that's what Fossilor did, but Paimon still doesn't quite get what you...
For me, Fontainians would, but so long. In other words,
Fossilor must have counted on you to make that... Yeah!
it seems from your expressions that you still have other things you wish to ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
When we spoke the week after the...
No. So regarding this specific issue, I would... In truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two back to the surface. It went something like this.
Well, we're going to have...
What next?
I can finally cap. It is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons, but with something very similar to a god's curse mixed in. It's quite a novel blend. I'm sure I've encountered something like this before.
I do not know.
You should have
Remain.
Huh.
Well, that much is... But I fear
I've been training with... It is only natural fit. Regardless, to live in itself is a blessing.
What do you mean by...
No need...
This third...
Master never mentioned them to me. If you're interested, though.
Next time, you believe...
I do.
I guess that you might already... That means that the no...
Like, No, like comparing the traveler to the death. That's what you say, but this...
I too leave it unwise just to make too many blood. Yes.
What?
I suppose that would be the myth, I suspect not. But once in a while I too would guess that if wish, life, and what?